Hey there, it's Erin Lundy from the PT team at Milestone Therapy Inc. again, and I want to share 7 different games that I've been playing with my kids that do not require a change in virtual background like every couple of seconds. So that way it makes it a little bit easier for the therapist and for the kid, and it also kind of tends to a different age range. So anyway, I have so much to show you. I can't wait. Okay, so game number 1 today is called the Horsey Game. This is probably one of my favorite games to do with kids in person and now with virtually. It's a great way to help kids that have a lot of vestibular needs, that need a lot of bouncing, a lot of sensory needs. And then also it's a great way to center kids before we get into the session. So that way they get relaxed, they get excited, they get all those like jitteries out, and all of the high energy that sometimes will carry through a session. So this is just a good way to start. So as much fun as I am today, I'm going to demonstrate with this with Raggedy Ann doll rather than me being the demo. And so what your kids need is a physio ball or a bunch of pillows or anything to kind of challenge their base of support a little bit and so they can kind of bounce on it. So anyway, starting like this. So you got Miss Raggedy Ann, horse background with children. This is the way the children ride, the children ride, the children ride. This is the way the children ride. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. So now phase 2 of the Horsey Game is the way that the ladies ride. So what you want to do is bounce the kid a little bit more, or have the kids help bounce a little bit more, or have the parents bounce the kid a little bit more. Also, great one to engage core and help with riding reactions, equilibrium reactions, all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, the lady gets a little bit more hyped up because we're building up to the grand finale. So it goes, this is the way the ladies ride, the ladies ride, the ladies ride. This is the way the ladies ride. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Now the grand finale with the cowboy, of course, because he rides the craziest. So what you're going to do, and you can even tell parents to, try to help with this a little bit. You want to kind of rock them a little bit, throw them outside their base of support, help them like bounce even crazier. Sometimes if it's safe, you can kind of let them fall over on like a crash mat or a bunch of pillows, whatever works. But anyway, the grand finale goes like this. This is the way the cowboys ride, the cowboys ride, the cowboys ride. This is the way the cowboys ride. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Anyway, Raggedy Ann's had a great time, and now she's ready to get started with her session for today. And guess what? It only took 3 slides to do this. Isn't that fun? Okay, so game number 2 is a talent show. So I like to sometimes start sessions with this, use it as like a reward to say, okay, we get through these things, and we get to do a talent show if you, follow directions and do everything really great. And then also like a grand finale at the end of the session, so the kid has like a good feeling as they're leaving the session, excited for next week. So basically the premise of the talent show, you only need 1 screen. So the kid gets to either pick their talent. I have some kids that like love singing. They think that virtual sessions is basically a jam session. So they sing to me a lot. And so like they can like start the session with singing. They can start with dancing. Like if they like learned a new karate move for the week, they can do all that. So it's kind of a way to keep the kids engaged while also like keeping them focused throughout the whole session. So, and making a little bit custom to what they want, because one of the most powerful tools that a therapist can use is giving the kids choices. So here's a way you can do it. So what's another really great way to use 1 screen but be able to get a ton of therapy done? It's a gymnastics gym. So what I do a lot of times is I'll either have the kid, like we alternate, like, okay, you pick first and I pick second, or we can use that wheel of names yet again. So it keeps on coming up. And so basically like the kid will call like, okay, we're gonna start off with a cartwheel. So you get up and you do a cartwheel. And then sometimes I'll even throw a little bit of thorax in there. So like, let's say we wanna work on external rotators and hip abductors, and I'll say, okay, we're gonna do a fire hydrant. And so you've got the kid doing fire hydrants because it's part of the gymnastics routine that we're gonna be doing. So I've had a lot of fun with it. I've also realized how uncoordinated and inflexible I am. So that's also been a real fun experience for the kids. So to be continued. So another great single screen tool that I use a lot is basically a dojo for karate moves, because it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, everybody loves karate moves. And it's a great way to get gross motor stuff in, and it's a great way to get thorax in. It's just all around awesome, and it's just 1 screen. So you can have kids alternating, like they pick a move, then I pick a move, or like, you know, we'll say like, you know, pick between the two, you know, again, giving the kids choices. But another really fun thing to do, here I'm going to share my screen, is the wheel of names again. Oh my gosh, it just keeps coming back because it's just like so many kids love it. It's just like it gives them a visual, lets them feel like they're like unsure what's going to happen next. And so anyway, they land on speed bag overhead. So that's what we're going to do. So basically, you have the kid work on scapular retraction, you have them work on shoulder elevation, and you just have them punch as much as they can. And also sometimes it engages the core. Anything overhead engages the core. And it's just a really fun way to get, again, a lot of energy out. It's a lot of great exercise, and the kids just seem like they really like it. Okay, this next activity, again, uses one screen, and it's really fun, especially for starting a session, especially for kids that have, you know, they're the ages between like 2 and 3 or so, and they really like little monkeys jumping on the bed. So what I did is I ordered popsicle sticks like this, or at least a little bit bigger. I've seen also some therapists use paint stirrers. Okay, get green construction paper, and you cut it out, and basically you wrap the stick in the green construction paper. Then I printed out these little monkeys and I attached it to my little green construction paper. So anyway, we can start it like this. So you see my little green construction paper is not even seen. So what I can do is I can start off the session, and you can again have the kids sitting on a physio ball, have the kids sitting on pillows, or if this just something to, you know, interest them and keep them engaged, just to start right off the bat. You've got all these little monkeys that are going to be jumping on the bed. Oh my gosh, how crazy is this? To go 6 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. So anyway, and it kind of goes on, and then they like have one fall off at a time. So this is kind of fun. Or another thing you could do, like let's say you got a kid that's like more like closer to 3, and they can kind of do a little bit more. You can have them like before one of the monkeys falls off the bed, you can have them do an activity like one of your therapeutic activities that you want them to do. So it's just a cool way to kind of get people engaged and to let parents kind of have a little bit of fun with this too. So I've already talked about this one in another video, but it's really cool, again, with just one virtual background that can take you through so much. It's the board games. You can find these either online. I've Googled a couple of these, or you can make your own, whatever your heart desires. And then I just printed out like little characters that I knew certain kids that I have mine that would really like. So one of my kids loves Triceratops, so that's what our character is going to be. So come over here to the start. Feel like Vanna White these days. Stick it over here to start, and then like you can have them roll dice, or they can use playing cards or whatever. And in order to move up 3 spaces or so, they have to do certain gross motor activities. And so that's how we can play it throughout that whole game. So I know I said that I only had 7 virtual backgrounds that are static frame to show you guys, but I actually just came up with another one, and I've used it twice this morning, and these kids love it. It's really great for like a little break in the middle of structured activities. It's called the freeze dance song, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So the way that I've been doing the freeze dance game with these kids is I'll share my screen with them, so that way they get like the visual simulation of it, you know, and it's big on their computer screen. And so I'll click share screen, and then I go to my desktop right here. And so you can see I already have it pulled up. I just typed freeze dance in the Google search bar, and then I've already pulled it up. You see, just dance.
Here we go. Let's freeze.
And then it freezes here because it gives a little structured, fun part of the game.
Get ready to hop and hop.
And you just hop. Okay, so you can see it's a fun way to get gross motor stimulation in there, and then you also make it into like a fun dance kind of game. So it makes it fun for a lot of these kids. I'll even have parents say like, can we do the freeze dance song now? I'm like, yes, absolutely. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one too. Okay, you guys, I only have one more game to show you that works with just a still frame virtual background. And I got this idea from one of my friends that's a speech language pathologist, and she said that this game will last like an entire 30 minutes with her kids. So it's pretty incredible. Wait a second. Do you hear that? I think it's the ice cream truck. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the essentials that you're gonna need for this game are a green bag of some kind. I just use this one, and I taped this cute little ice cream carton looking thing to it, so that way you can pretend that you're scooping up different ice cream. I would also recommend cutting out like different ice cream scoops. I just did 3 different flavors. You can also stack them up too. And then I also have sprinkles that you can throw on top, some bananas, and then you can either call this caramel or peanut butter depending on what your kid likes. And then of course I also have chocolate, and I have cherries. And yes, all the OTs out there, this was really challenging to cut out, so thanks for that. So what you're gonna do is stick out all these really difficult things to cut out into your green bag. Oh man, again, possibilities are endless. What are you gonna pull out? Okay, so once you have everything in the bag, I would recommend, if you have a felt bag and a felt background, that's probably the most ideal. However, I'm rigging this with tape because that's how we do it at our household. So we're gonna stick it up here, okay? And then stick this bad boy on here so that way it looks realistic. Your actual like ice cream carton. Okay, looking good. And again, the key here is that you do not want any kind of shading under here. Otherwise, it's going to throw off how well this all blends into the background. Okay, so this is the background that I made. It's pretty simple to do, I have to admit. I just went in Microsoft PowerPoint, and I just like copied and pasted different pictures of ice cream cones, different ice cream cartons, all of this stuff. So this is like basically my virtual background. Here is where my bag is. How cool is that? Okay, so the way that this game works is that obviously the kids want ice cream into their ice cream cones and whatever toppings that they've earned and different things like that. So this activity is a very reward-based activity. So you can either have them start off and say like, okay, well, in order to get your vanilla ice cream that I heard you say you wanted earlier, I'm gonna need you to do like 5 jumping jacks. And so you have them do that. And if you think they're good quality, you reach deep down here in your ice cream carton and you pull out a vanilla scoop. You're gonna walk over here and stick it right on there. And isn't that so cool? And then like, let's say they're like, okay, well, what do you want next? Do you want another ice cream scoop or do you want a topping? And they'll go, another scoop. I want strawberry this time. So you stick a strawberry on there. Sometimes they melt into each other. And so then you got that built up, and then you can add different things to it. If you want a banana in there too, add a little bit of fruit, very healthy for the summer. Same thing with a cherry. And then if they want to add chocolate, or let's say some peanut butter or caramel, or caramel, depending on what part of the country you're from. And so anyway, you've got this like massive ice cream cone that's like waiting for the kids, and it's really fun to kind of build it up. And like that's like the grand finales whenever they've got like the full cone. And you can do see, my dog's even very excited. He loves ice cream. And so you've got all these different cones you can do, all these different levels that you can do. You can even have it interspersed throughout your session if you would like, to kind of build engagement and to keep kids going. But it's pretty cool. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to one more activity that we can all do together with just one screen the whole time. Make it simple on yourself, make it simple on the kids, because there's plenty of time for all those other multi-screen activities that we'll show you later in the week. Thanks. Have a great night.